Hollywood's golden age was a world of glamour, talent, and unforgettable performances. But behind the scenes, many stars battled personal demons. Alcohol was a frequent companion, and some actors showed up on set drunk, so often it affected their work, co-stars, and careers. These weren't occasional slips. For these legends, drinking became part of their Hollywood persona, shaping productions and creating stories almost as dramatic as the movies themselves. In this video, we explore 10 Golden Age stars who were always drunk on set, revealing the chaos, brilliance, and personal struggles that unfolded behind the camera. Spencer Tracy is remembered as one of Hollywood's finest actors, but off-screen, he struggled with chronic alcoholism. During his time at Fox Studios, his drinking became so problematic that management gave him an ultimatum: quit or be fired. Tracy chose neither. He left the studio and signed with MGM, who quietly manages habits to keep him on set. A small team, sometimes called the Tracy Squad, helped him with lines, scheduled breaks, and monitored his alcohol intake to ensure he could perform. On set, Tracy could be unpredictable. Some days he would arrive slurred and sluggish, forgetting lines or needing prompts. Other days, he was magnetic, delivering performances full of nuance and emotion. Co-stars had to improvise and adapt, but his talent remained undeniable. Films like Boys Town and Captain Courageous proved that despite personal chaos, he could create unforgettable characters. Tracy's drinking didn't just impact production, it was a constant personal battle. Yet, he maintained a quiet dignity, balancing genius with vulnerability. His story shows that even legendary actors could struggle behind the camera, and that talent sometimes coexisted with self-destruction in ways both compelling and heartbreaking. Oliver Reed's on-screen charisma was undeniable, but off-screen, he became infamous for his drinking and unpredictable behavior. By the time he reached the height of his career, Reed's reputation for showing up to sets intoxicated was legendary. Directors and co-stars never knew if he would deliver a brilliant scene or derail a shoot entirely. One notorious incident occurred during a live television discussion. Reed arrived visibly drunk, making inappropriate comments and even attempting to kiss feminist writer Kate Millett. While some saw it as shocking or offensive, others considered it part of his wild, rebellious persona. His drinking created tension, but Reed often charmed his way through it, leaving a trail of exasperated crew members and amused audiences. Despite his reputation, Reed's talent could shine in moments of clarity. Films like The Devils and Oliver prove he could command the screen when sober or barely sober. However, his drinking remained a constant shadow over his career. Friends, colleagues, and producers often tried to manage him, but Reed thrived on chaos, making his life as unpredictable off-screen as it was on. His story is a reminder that brilliance and self-destruction often walk hand in hand, leaving a legacy both captivating and cautionary. Richard Burton was one of Hollywood's most intense and magnetic actors, known for his booming voice and commanding presence. Yet behind the scenes, alcohol often dictated his life. By the mid-1970s, Burton was consuming several bottles of hard liquor daily, a habit that began to affect both his personal life and professional work. During the filming of The Klansman, 1974, Burton's drinking reached dangerous levels. Co-stars recalled moments when he appeared incoherent, forgetting lines or struggling to stand. One particularly troubling day, he was unable to perform at all, forcing delays and tension on set. Yet, even in the depths of his intoxication, Burton could sometimes summon the power and precision that made him a star, leaving directors and audiences awed by his raw talent. Off-screen, his personal life suffered immensely. His tumultuous relationship with Elizabeth Taylor, combined with his dependence on alcohol, created public scandals and private turmoil. Burton himself later admitted that he spent years sloshed and that drinking had overtaken much of his life. His story is a cautionary tale of genius intertwined with addiction, showing how even legendary actors could struggle to maintain control while under the intense pressures of fame and Hollywood's relentless spotlight. Ray Milland is best remembered for his Academy Award-winning performance in The Lost Weekend, 1945, a groundbreaking film about alcoholism. Ironically, Milan's own experiences with alcohol became a topic of speculation during and after production. To prepare for the role, he immersed himself in method acting, spending time observing patients in psychiatric wards and studying the physical and emotional effects of heavy drinking. The intensity of this research took a toll on him, blurring the line between acting and reality. On set, Milan's dedication sometimes made co-stars uneasy. His immersion in the role meant he could exhibit behaviors that seemed excessively authentic, slurred speech, unsteady movements, and raw emotion that mirrored actual drunkenness. While this approach elevated his performance and contributed to the film's critical acclaim, it also exposed him to the personal risks of over-identification with an alcoholic character. Off-screen, Milan maintained a more controlled life than some of his contemporaries, but the experience left an imprint. Colleagues recalled that after filming, he occasionally displayed traces of the character's emotional fragility, showing just how consuming the role had been. Milan's story demonstrates the sacrifices actors sometimes make for their craft, and how the art performance could dangerously intertwine with the realities it portrays. His dedication, while producing cinematic brilliance, highlighted the thin line between method acting and self-destructive immersion. Judy Garland's talent was undeniable. Her voice, presence, and emotional depth made her a beloved icon. But behind the glamour, Garland's life was plagued by the pressures of Hollywood and a reliance on alcohol and prescription drugs. Beginning her career as a child star, she was subjected to grueling schedules, constant scrutiny, and the expectations of studio executives, all of which took a heavy toll on her mental and physical health. On set, her struggles were evident. She sometimes arrived fatigued, unsteady, or visibly intoxicated, affecting rehearsals and filming schedules. Directors and co-stars adapted to her unpredictability, learning when to intervene or cover for her. Despite these challenges, Garland's talent often shone through. Films like Meet Me in St. Louis and The Wizard of Oz showcase her brilliance, even when her personal life was unraveling behind the camera. Her drinking was both a coping mechanism and a public secret. It contributed to missed performances, canceled appearances, and a pattern of self-destructive behavior that haunted her throughout her career. Yet fans admired her resilience and vulnerability, making her one of Hollywood's most tragic legends. Garland's story highlights the dark side of stardom. Extraordinary talent weighed down by addiction, pressure, and personal turmoil, proving that even icons can be human and deeply fragile. Montgomery Clift was one of Hollywood's most captivating actors, celebrated for his sensitive, intense performances. Yet his life was marked by personal struggles that often overshadowed his talent. Clift's career took a dramatic turn after a serious car accident in the mid-1950s, which left him with significant facial injuries and chronic pain. To cope, he turned to alcohol and prescription drugs, a combination that began affecting both his health and his work on set. His drinking created challenges during filming. Co-stars and directors sometimes had to navigate around his erratic behavior, whether it was forgetting lines, slurring dialogue, or showing up unsteady. Despite these obstacles, Clift could summon extraordinary focus and emotional depth when performing, leaving audiences mesmerized. Films like A Place in the Sun and From Here to Eternity cemented his reputation as a groundbreaking actor, even as his personal struggles became increasingly visible. Off-screen, Clift's life was tumultuous. The combination of physical pain, addiction, and Hollywood pressures took a heavy toll, leading to a gradual decline in both his health and career. His story serves as a stark reminder that fame and talent don't shield anyone from the destructive effects of addiction, and that even the most gifted performers can be haunted by the consequences of personal demons. Montgomery Clift remains a symbol of brilliance shadowed by tragedy. Errol Flynn was Hollywood's quintessential swashbuckler, known for his charm, daring roles, and on-screen charisma. Off-screen, however, Flynn's lifestyle was equally legendary and notoriously excessive. Heavy drinking, late-night parties, and a constant string of romantic escapades became a hallmark of his life, often spilling into his professional environment. On set, Flynn's drinking could disrupt filming. He sometimes arrived hungover, slurred lines, or required extra coaching to complete scenes. Crew members often had to adapt, balancing frustration with the understanding that his raw charisma and talent were impossible to ignore. Productions were occasionally delayed, yet Flynn's performances, such as in Captain Blood and The Adventures of Robin Hood, remained electric, suggesting that his off-screen chaos sometimes fueled his on-screen energy. His personal excesses weren't limited to alcohol. Flynn's escapades with women and gambling scandals added to his larger-than-life reputation, making him one of Hollywood's most talked-about figures. While studios tolerated much of his behavior due to his star power, his lifestyle contributed to a decline in his health and career longevity. Flynn's story is a vivid example of Hollywood's golden age excess, a dazzling talent living on the edge, whose brilliance was inseparable from his self-destructive habits. Charles Chaplin, beloved for his iconic role as a little tramp, was not only a cinematic genius, but also a figure surrounded by personal controversy. While his talent was unmatched, his private life often made headlines, overshadowing his professional achievements. Chaplin's relationships, romantic entanglements, and alleged alcohol use painted a picture of a man whose genius was intertwined with scandal. On set, Chaplin was known for his perfectionism, but he could also be unpredictable. While alcohol didn't dominate his performances in the way it did for others, stories suggest that he sometimes indulged in managed stress or inspired creativity, blending his personal quirks into his work. Directors and co-stars had to navigate his mercurial moods, balancing admiration for his brilliance with patience for his eccentricities. Despite the controversies, Chaplin's work remained timeless. Films like City Lights and Modern Times showcase a meticulous artistry that overshadowed his personal flaws. Yet the scandals, rumors of affairs, secret marriages, and legal battles added layers of intrigue to his persona, making him a figure whose life off-screen was almost as compelling as his films. Chaplin's story exemplifies the complex interplay between genius, personal excess, and public scrutiny in Hollywood's golden age. Barbara Payton was a rising star in the 1940s and 1950s, known for her beauty and talent that promised a long-lasting Hollywood career. She starred alongside legends like James Cagney and Gary Cooper, yet her personal life quickly became headline news, often overshadowing her professional accomplishments. Alcohol played a major role in her turbulent lifestyle, contributing to erratic behavior on and off set. Payton's relationships were chaotic and highly publicized, marked by affairs, arguments, and even physical altercations. Studios frequently worried about her reliability, as her drinking could interfere with filming schedules and her ability to deliver lines. On set, she sometimes appeared unsteady or distracted, forcing directors and co-stars to adapt around her unpredictability. Despite the challenges, her charisma remained undeniable, hinting at the career she might have had if not for her personal struggles. As her alcohol abuse worsened in the 1960s, Payton's career rapidly declined. She faced financial difficulties, health issues, and increasingly public scandals, ultimately fading from Hollywood's spotlight. Her story is a cautionary tale of talent derailed by personal demons, showing how fame and beauty alone could not shield her from the consequences of addiction. Barbara Payton's life serves as a stark reminder of Hollywood's darker side, where glamour and chaos often walked hand in hand. George Reeves, best known for his role as Superman in the 1950s, seemed to have it all: fame, a beloved character, and a promising career. Yet behind the suit and cape, Reeves struggled with personal issues, including alcohol use, which affected both his life and work. While he could deliver polished performances on screen, off-screen tensions, relationships, and the pressures of stardom sometimes overwhelmed him. Reeves' personal life was complicated. Rumors circulated about affairs, financial stress, and a sense of dissatisfaction with his career, which had peaked early. Some colleagues described him as moody or distracted on set, occasionally showing up hungover or fatigued, which created subtle disruptions in filming. Despite these challenges, Reeves maintained professionalism and a likable public persona, which kept him in the hearts of fans. Tragically, Reeves was found dead from a gunshot wound in 1959. While officially ruled a suicide, many speculate about the circumstances surrounding his death, making it one of Hollywood's enduring mysteries. Alcohol and personal struggles were often cited as contributing factors, highlighting the hidden pressures that actors face behind the glamour. George Reeves' story is a poignant example of how fame can mask vulnerability, and how even stars adored worldwide can face dark, untold struggles that linger long after the cameras stop rolling. The golden age of Hollywood was filled with glamour, talent, and unforgettable performances. But behind the camera, many stars struggle with alcohol and personal demons. From Spencer Tracy's controlled chaos to George Reeves' tragic end, these stories reveal the human side of legends, where brilliance coexisted with self-destruction. Their on-set intoxication, scandals, and struggles remind us that fame didn't shield anyone from vulnerability. These tales are both cautionary and fascinating, offering a glimpse into the hidden pressures, sacrifices, and challenges that shape some of Hollywood's most iconic figures. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more behind-the-scenes Hollywood tales.